Would you risk dying for doing your dream job? Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Wigensall and I'm the host of the Sport Use podcast. A podcast where we interview perspectives that you never heard before from the sports world. We dive into interesting conversations with unique people and get to know their stories from the sports world. Basically, we take you through an exciting journey between the sports front stage and backstage. We do this together with our collaboration partner Sport Agilisten, the job platform only for the sport industry. Find your dream job or dream candidate today. Head over to sportagilisten.com to learn more. But now, let me introduce you to today's guest. He grew up in Freetown, Sierra Leone, and started playing football on the streets. He formed a non-division team with his friends, and that was called Young Lions, and managed to get a contract at the big club in the country, FC Kallon. He has played professionally around the world since then, and despite being diagnosed with a defective heart, he has also been banned to play football because of this in Europe, but today he's 20 years old and still plays football professionally. With that said, welcome to the Sport Use podcast, Alhaji Kamara.
Thank you.
So how's everything today?
I mean, everything is fine, and I'm really happy to be here today with you.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great honor. Fun enough. I was recommended to have this conversation with you from a former podcast guest, but also a friend, Kaxon Yuki, who told me about this guy you should talk to, and he started to talk about the story behind itself. There was this sad news coming up and so on, and I started to realize hey, I might know who this is, and yes, it was Alhaji Kamara, and here we are sitting in a studio live to talk about it. So it's a big honor. Today you are still playing.
Yes.
You're playing in FC Randers.
Yes, sir.
From Denmark, from the Premier League in Denmark.
Super League, yes.
Yeah. How is everything in Danish football at the moment?
To be honest, I really coming to Denmark. It feels like it was the missing piece. I really love the Danish football. I love everything about Denmark. Yeah.
That's great. But you have been playing. We're going to talk a little bit more about it. So there might be some comparison to do as well between Swedish football and Danish football and so on. But I wanted to firstly ask you, usually I ask all the guests what they have some sort of a memory from they were young when they were playing sports. What would you say is the first experience that comes up to your mind when you think about when you were a kid and everything that has connected with sports?
I mean, for me, I think the thing that will come in my mind, I will say my brother, because my brother, he loves to play football. He's a sports guy. He loves to play different kind of, sports. And during back then, I used when I was home with him, he used to win a lot of, trophies and gifts from different kind of sports. So I'm I got inspired, seeing him doing those things. I feel like, okay, and I have to play football. So I look at him and I feel like, okay, then I just jump into football, and since then I just love the game. Yeah.
So he played several different sports, not only football.
Yeah. Basketball, volleyball. My brother was really talented, and that gets me inspired. He was really talented guy, so that gets me inspired. And also, he used to play for the school league, for the school team. So him playing for the school, and every time he comes home, the only thing everyone talks about is my brother, the game that he scored, the game that he plays good, they talk about the school and his name, they keep mentioning his name every time, So I feel like, okay, I also have to do this. Yeah.
But what made it become football in your case? I mean, did you also try all the different sports that he did, or was it like you just tried football and that's it?
For me, I think it was just football. Yeah, it was just football because the moment, like, I just realized that, okay, this is the sport that I want to play because my brother gets, really like famous when he was young doing it. Like all the local girls, all the, like he's really famous, in the school, So I was like, I want to play football. So, and also my friends, the friends that I grew up, the people that, I grew around with, they all play football. So it was easy for me to just say, you know what, I want to play football. Yeah.
And that was how you got involved with Young Lions, for example?
That was a special story, I would say. Okay, me back then, because we formed like we had like a junior competition, back then in Lunge, where I grew up. Actually, I'm not from Freetown, but I mean, Freetown is the capital city, but I'm from Lunge, Putzloko district. It's a very small town. So I grew up in this town and I just wanted to play football. But I grew up in such a way that, I was not that talented kid, but with my friends, I always have the pass, to play with my friends, to play with them because we try to form our own team because like the other teams during then you just have the senior teams, Of course we are young and these teams, they cannot, because we are young, they cannot bring us to play with them. So we form our team, which is Young Lions. So we try to friends for friends, Then we used to play friendly games. So from these friendly games we are playing, so every time we spot a good player, we try to convince this player to come and join our team. So this is what we have been doing for a year or two. Then we become we just gather a large number, a group that, that forms a team, So we start to play friendly match against these senior teams, because this time they play in the top tournaments in Lungi.
But so what are we talking about ages? Are there different ages in this team that you built?
Actually my team, it was just around 14, 15, 16. That was the age, group around my team. But the other guys I'm talking about, they're around 20s, 22, 23, 24, Okay. So we decided, because these guys, they cannot let us play in their teams. So we decided to form our team, and we start to play friendly games, against these teams. So then, we have a manager, back then. So this guy, he look at how ambitious we are. We came together, we formed this team, we play friendly games tournament with some of those money we get from the gate tickets because people come and watch those games, We buy our own jerseys, we buy our own football shoes.
So you were 14 years old and you were selling tickets for the game to watch.
Exactly, because we have people that wants to watch because we are exciting, kids, knows how to play football, we just out there having fun, So we formed the team. Then the manager said, you know what? Let me just take a try and register this team in the upcoming tournament. It's a popular tournament in my hometown, which is called Closet. It's very famous tournament, this tournament. So we went, we get registered into Closet. Our first year in Closet, it was a miracle. We are just flying. Though we didn't get to win the championship that year, imagine young kids around 14, 15, 16, some of the guys, and but we had like the accolades from every, like we gained the hearts of the fans from Lunge. So everybody was like, wow, young lions.
But
So
how was this tournament? Was it like in a group stage, or did you always just have this win or lose game?
The tournament was in a group stage, actually. Like you have maybe 2 to like 4 groups. They put you in a group. Then you qualify from the group, maybe like 2 teams. I don't really remember again, but you qualify from the group. Then you go knockout stage, then quarterfinal, semi-final, then the final. But I remember that we go quarterfinals,
As a 14, 15-year-old.
And imagine the team that knocks us out of this tournament, it was the military.
Really?
Yes, it was the military. So imagine the power, the strength they have. So, but I mean, we gained the heart from the fans, and I think the following years, like we win the championship like two straight.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 times straight. Yeah, it was an amazing experience with my friends, and some of those memories, I still keep some of those memories. And I will say, because it's a long story, but some part of it, even my brother, I end up like meeting him in the final, one of the tournament that we won. And we both battling for the top goal scorer in this tournament. And I scored in the final, then I won the golden boot, and we won the trophy.
That's crazy.
And it was crazy with the family. Everyone was like, they don't know where to choose sides. But I mean, I was the younger one, so
more support for the younger
yeah,
ones.
exactly. But it was a good experience. Yeah,
that's amazing. And then you ended up coming to FC Kallon to play for them as well.
Yeah, coming to FC Kallon, it was just like I would say FC Kallon. It was like my ticket to Europe, because every young kid in Sierra Leone back then, they wanted to play in FC Kallon, because FC Kallon is the team that, has this opportunity to come to Europe, play tournaments, friendly games, and usually they also bring like scouts, because they have really a good agent, which is my agent. We're still like good together. Chegno Musa Jallo. He's the one that scouted the Banguras, Alhaji Kamara, most of the famous, Sierra Leone famous players.
Yeah, and especially for those that are Swedish listeners and follow the football league, Allsvenskan, they might know about the Banguras, because they made quite a good impression on the league.
I think it's because of those guys that we also have the opportunity to come to play in Sweden, because the mark they set in the Swedish league. So I think some of the teams, they see that, okay, there might be, another Bangura in Sierra Leone, but unfortunately they went for Camaras. So it's not.
Yeah, maybe the Camaras are the new Banguras.
Exactly. So you have Alhaji Kamara, you have Alhaji Kamara. So I mean, so with FC Kallon, I went to the under 17s. Then I get scouted to play for FC Kallon. But it's a long story, me coming to FC Kallon, because but I will leave it for, through the conversation, maybe somehow I will bring, how I end up in FC Kallon. But yeah, I will say I get scouted for through the under 17s when we play against Ivory Coast, and I score like 2 goals in these games. Then FC Kallon was like, okay, we are interested in this player. Yeah, but I always have the dream to come to FC Kallon, because, like I said, it's a dream for every kid from Sierra Leone to play in FC Kallon, because this is your pass, this is your ticket to Europe.
Exactly.
Because it's the only team that has the opportunity, your dream, for you to realize your dream, to able to like come to Europe and play football.
Exactly. Or like they are the gatekeeper.
Exactly.
To put it like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then suddenly you moved to Sweden, 2012, if I'm correct, and then you came to Stockholm. to play for Djurgården.
Yeah.
And they are at the moment playing in the end of the season in Sweden, for those that are not well known with Swedish football, but it's a team that has done well in the past few years, but it's one of the stronger teams in history in Sweden. And I'm just curious to, first of all, like you're coming from Sierra Leone and then you're coming to Sweden. Usually there's a big culture difference when it comes to weather. How do you remember how it was in the beginning?
First of all, I will say it was a dream. You know, I mean, you realize your dream. Being in Africa, you know, I mean, I've played, you know, waiting for that dream, you know, to see myself, you know, get signed from a professional club, you know. I mean, which was like, I was excited. It was like, yes, you know, this was what I was looking for, you know. But not realizing, you know, I mean, coming to Europe, you know, it was challenging. It was really challenging, you know, leaving the family back home, the weather different, the food, everything, transportation, you know. You know, then I tell you a story, you know. When I came to Europe, I think my biggest fear was like, you know, using the train.
Okay.
Okay. You can't imagine me using the train now from Randers to Malmo, you know, to come and do this podcast, you know, using the train. So next to the house I was living, you have like the train station just like around the corner. And sometimes I have things that I have to do in town, you know, because I have this fear. If I use the train, I don't know where I will end up. Okay. So I was so scared. So those are one of the difficulties, you know. Of course, the language, you know, like I said, the story about the train, you know, I want to go buy food, you know, because they have like an African shop in the city, Centralen, you know. So I walk for like 25, 30 minutes instead of me ending up like in the wrong destination. So those are, you know, the kind of, you know, difficulties, you know. Of course, 18 years old, you don't have your family. I live with my parents, you know. This is the first time, you know, moving to Europe, you know. So it was tough, you know, but I believe some of those things today makes me the man I am today. So I really appreciate, you know, the opportunity that Djurgården gave me. I still follow them, though we fall apart, you know. I mean, I think it happens because for me, my whole career, it has been like, you know, challenging, and I love challenging. I'm like a car without a fuel. You need to put, you know, those setbacks, you know, it's the fuel for me. You know, it keeps me going, you know. Yeah. So I really appreciate you, Gordon, and, you know, like we spoke before, I love what they are doing since I think since the year I left Djurgården. I've seen the growth they have had for the past years, winning the league, even now doing really good abroad. It's amazing. It's really amazing things they are doing.
Do you have any? I know this was like 10 years ago, but do you have any connection with any player from back then?
Yes, Tiblin.
Yeah, Simon Tiblin.
Tiblin. Yeah, because we met each other again in Randers. You know, right. I mean, so when I came in Djurgården, he was one of, like, you know, the prospect, you know, like he's a good guy, good player, one of the guy that, you know, I mean, it's nice to be around, hardworking kid, really talented, you know. So yeah, we still keep in touch, and for the fact that, you know, Last year we are in Randers together. We spoke about, we speak about a lot about Ugoden back then during the days when we came, like when everything was new. So we spoke about those things. We just laugh about it. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then moving further, I mean, you suddenly ended up playing at one time at the IFK Norrköping and won the Swedish Premier League. That must be like crazy of like, as you were mentioning here before, a dream coming to Europe. Yeah. And then just a few years later on, then you end up being one of those champions in Sweden. Can you like explain a little bit of the experience of that time?
That was crazy. I will say. I mean, like I said, sometimes the moment you think it's a dream, then you realize how tough, it will also be, like we mentioned, me coming from Africa, to settle, in Sweden, different type of football. I used to play in a rough surface. Now I have to adjust to play, which is a good thing, in a good surface. Good football shoes, So
the conditions, so to say, in Africa where you grew up, were very far from what you have in
exactly.
Europe.
This is good surface. This is like a level surface. I play in a surface wherein when they pass the ball has to like dance around you before you put it in.
So put it friendly. It wasn't flat. It's not a flat surface.
It's not a flat surface. Exactly. So even now that I'm in a place where like I play in a very good surface, I still have to adjust because it's good,
I got it.
So I mean, I really have like the obstacles, me settling, like with football, with everything around, this dream I was thinking, it was a dream come true. Now I have to go through the process, I mean, with that process, going through that process, end up like, leaving Ugoden, going loan to Ikufre, get back to Ugoden, then went to Vanamo, went through those phases, and I able to adjust, able to know the Swedish football, and also this loans period makes me understand the game, makes me understand my own game, and makes me understand my role I have to play in a team, winning the championship, it was a crazy moment because I will say to you, it was the best moment in my life. I will also say to you that it's the moments that I worked very hard in my career because this team was winning, and this period I was on loan in Malaysia. Before the league started, I played with Norrköping in my first year. I did really good, score goals, and we get settled as a team, This was like really like a good team now because we escaped relegation my first year, Then we figure out, we stay in the league, we have a proper team. We understand each other. We have a culture. We have a style. We know, what to do as a team. And then I don't get to play in the beginning of the league. I was loaned out to Malaysia, because I actually have a good conversation with the coach, Janne Andersson,
Which is, as of today, the coach for the Swedish national team.
Yeah, the national team is like a father figure to me, because this man really believe in me, We had a conversation, about the loan, He was like, "Are you crazy? You're going to Malaysia?" But at the end of the day, we get an understanding, which I have to explain to him because of financial reasons, and the money was too good to say no. And of course, I'm coming from Africa. I have a whole family behind me I have to look after. And I was like, boss, this is 1 year loan. I really need this. I can come back to not shopping after 1 year and just continue my career in Europe. And we have that understanding. Went for a loan in Malaysia. The loan didn't went well, and this team was winning. They were like in the best form of their life, like top 3 back then, they were in the top 3, and I have to come back, the strikers in the team, they were scoring. Emi Korevic, he was the top goal scorer. Nima, he was also like, instrumental player of the team, really like, they were going, things was going very well with the team. And I had to come and join this team, So when I came from the loan, I have a conversation with Tiane, and he said, look, I like you as a player. I like you as a person. I know your character. You want to play. You work very hard. That's why, of course, when things didn't go well, I want you back in the team. But I have to be honest with you. We can't make any changes, It depends. If the game goes, if we have to play you 15 minutes, we play you 15 minutes. If we have to play you 10 minutes, we play you 10 minutes. If you don't have to play, you don't have to play. Let's just keep it this way. We cannot change a winning team. I was like, okay, I have to be honest. The team was doing good. Of course, I want to be part of the team that was doing really good. And so I have to, then myself, I just have to convince myself, say, look, even though I've had the conversation with the coach, I have to keep working, stay positive, the chance will come. So this was me, like in the evening, every training, because we train in the morning, like in the evening, I have to do like straight up like 2 hours because we have like an indoor, like I can do like finishing inside the indoor. I can do like condition with the bike. So I was doing extra every evening. I was doing extra training, just to match up the level, just to like, if I got the opportunity, I need to be in this team because this is really important. This is like, no shopping, I haven't won the league for 26 or 25 years. I want to be part of a history, So I was working hard. Then the opportunity came. And the same coach that said to me, look, we're not going to change anything. He made it clear to the group that this guy, we have to put him in the group. He has to be, he have to start, So somehow he find a balance in the team. Then he was able to play me, Emir, and Nima, together. Then we won the championship and I was able to contribute. And for me, the best part was winning the championship. Of course, like I can be there, be a champion, but I want to be part of it. And the best way, I want to be part of it when my contribution is recognized. So my contribution was recognized in this championship. I scored goals, I helped the team, we won the championship. It makes me more of a champion than just winning the championship, just being on the bench, so it was a special moment for me, and it's something that I always have in my heart.
Yeah, it's not it's not everyone that has the opportunity to win a championship.
Exactly.
It's very hard to be honest. That there's only one team that can win every year. So
exactly.
So it's a unique opportunity that not a lot of people have been able to experience. But then coming to the big story of all of this, since you won the Swedish Premier League, then you were qualified to play in the Champions League, the big European competition in Europe, and then you, like all teams, have to do more or less like extra, sort of like extra, how can I say, examination of the health and the body of all players because of playing in the Champions League, and somehow they noticed that you had some bad health conditions on your heart. How was that coming to your mind when you heard about they saying like, hey, this guy, he's not gonna be allowed to play because he's born with a heart that is not 100% perfect? Or how did they or you hear about the decision? Because they basically banned you from playing football. Must be a very strange way of getting into the next season.
It is, to be honest, you know. Imagine, you know, what I've spoke about. The commitment, the sacrifice, the hard work, everything that I've put in to become a champion, you know. Now, another setback, you know, just came by the way. I should stop playing. That particular moment in my life, I really don't know what I was battling with. I don't know if I was battling with my life or my football career. It was tough. It was a period in my life I faced depression, and it's real. It's real. Depression is in our sport. I think in every sport there is depression. People go depressed, and sometimes you get depressed, you don't even know, and it's real. It's real because for me, I feel like when I know the moment I noticed I was going through depression, it was like when I can't even go to the hair salon to cut my hair. You know, I look at myself, I said, it's fine, I look good. You know, can't fix my own laundry. You know, can't wash my own dishes. You know, it's crazy. I was like some mental depressed in this situation.
But it was like just sort of a mental stop for your body function. So as you were saying, if you couldn't do the laundry, it was like your mental health telling your body like you can't do anything.
Some type of like you can't do anything, but also there is a mental depression, you know, some part of it. Because now the wall is taking away something that you love. Football is my passion, you know. I grew up playing football with my friends, my family, you know. I love football because of my brother. I see my brother was a good player when he was young. I get inspired, you know. And after all this celebration, me becoming a champion, I went back home, you know. I bring the medal with me. People came to the airport to receive me as a champion, you know. Like almost my whole town, they celebrate me as our hero, you know, because I'm the first player from my hometown that's ever played professional football back then, you know. And beside that, you know, I came as a champion, you know, after all this celebration, holiday, you know, thinking, okay, now this is time for my family back home to able to watch me playing, you know, Champions League qualification, because some of those games you have them on the TV, you know, but with the Swedish league, you don't have Swedish league on the local television in Sierra Leone. So I feel like this was the end of my wall. You know, that period. I feel like this was the end of my wall. It was really something hard for me to speak about, you know, because that moment I really don't know. I really don't understand what I was dealing with. Like I said, I don't know if it was my body just stopped or it was a mental depression. It was just sort of like I was dealing with everything, you know. Then, we had to do the test, you know. Came back from the holiday, had to do the cardiac, the heart test and everything. Of course, like, I've never in my life, up till now, I've never had a single symptoms of, like, you know, having a heart problem. I've never had symptoms. Never in my life. I've never had symptoms of any heart issues, problems, you know. Never in my life. Yeah, we had to do the test. We went for the test, you know. But of course, it's something that I've never done in my life, or somehow, you know, I never had issues. I mean, with Africans, like, we always have, like, when you tell an African man to go do a test, we are just like, I hope something will not happen with me. Even though you're physically, you're good, but I mean, with results, I mean, you never know what will happen. It's a machine, it's a human, it's someone that makes this machine, you know. I mean, of course, it's good to believe in science and everything, but in this particular day, I was somehow nervous, you know, about this test, you know. I mean, sometimes that's why they said in life, you just have to be positive, you know. I was nervous, you know, doing this test, you know, and I did the test and I was like, oh, I can't wait, you know, to just, like, for me to get the results. Then the result came the next day. Then, you know, I was called by the doctor, Delris. I can still remember I don't know if he's still in EF Kallon shopping. I called back and he explained to me, oh, we need to do, like, some further checkup, you know, like. Was like, okay, what's wrong? I said, okay, there is an issue with your heart and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, nothing serious. We just have to double check and see if it was just some type of, you know, mistake, you know. I said, yeah, sure, it's fine. Went the next day, book an appointment, same thing, you know. And they said, okay, now you have to stay home. You don't need to train with the team. We need to, like, some sort of way, we need to, like, you know, get details, confirmation about, you know, the real story about, you know, the medical test, you know. Wait 1 week, you know, nothing changes. It was like, okay, what's going on, you know. Then get called again from Delris, so we need to do a further scan, you know. And we did some further scan, which was like, it was painful, you know. It was like they had to put, like, some type of iron through my vein, and I think it went through my inside my heart, and they just, like a camera, okay, sort of camera, you know, and they made the scan. Then it was the same. It was like some type of a congenital problem, something that, you know, it's nothing wrong with me. It's just that I have a lion heart. My heart is not human heart. I have a lion heart, you know, a heart to fight, a heart not to give up, you know. This is the kind of heart I was born with, you know. It was not like a disease or anything, you know. I have a special heart, you know.
Yeah.
Some people are born different, you know. Like, some people are born, like, different, you know. So, yeah. They did the further test, and it came out the same results. Okay, you know, the two veins that, you know, runs left and right, mine goes, like, the same direction. You know, that was the issue, you know. And that's news just knocked me down. It really knocks me down, like. Was like, wow.
And I mean, at this time, you hadn't, like, practiced football for 2 weeks or something.
It was 3 to 4 weeks now during this period when, like
And you're not allowed to play.
I was not allowed because they said, yeah, it's fine. You can go outside for a jog. It's fine. You can run on the treadmill. It's fine. But you cannot play football. I was like, I'm convinced. Like, okay, I can run on the treadmill. I can go outside for a jog, but I cannot play football. The sport, the game that I love,
Did they say why?
Exactly.
Because you can run on the pitch.
On the pitch. Exactly.
And the treadmill is the same thing.
It's the same. Exactly. This is what really I don't understand. I really don't understand this, because if I can run outside, 2-3 miles, then you can say to me, I can run on the treadmill. Then I'm a normal human. Like, I should be fine. In my head, that was what I was thinking, I said I should be fine, But yeah, they asked me to stop, and I was like, hell no. I should be the last man standing, Like, you will make a decision here, like everybody will fall for that decision, but if I'm not convinced about the decision, I will stand in front of you and say, no, you need to convince me. You need to convince me. So we had like a 45-minute conversation in a room like full of doctors. Like, they tried to tell me, like, yo, like, you need to stop. Like, if you run, if you go and play football, you will just die. It's like, really? But we all gonna die. We're all gonna die. Like, why you think the military, they flew to Iraq with their guns, a place that they don't know anybody. They went there to fight. You think they think, oh, they're coming safe? No, it's because they have the spirits that, you know what, it's alive, no matter what. If you want to have billions, millions, you're gonna die someday. So this should not stop you to not to do the things that you love to do. It shouldn't stop you. So me and my agent, Cherno Musa, and Patrick Mock, a Swedish agent, I love this guy, even though now he's not my agent, but he stood besides me. I love no shopping. I love the fans. I love the club, because this club gave me an opportunity that, I'm proud of who I am today. But that period, I feel like they let me down because I asked this club for a second opinion. The only thing they can say to me, they are convinced with the findings in lean shopping. Because for me, a second opinion should be, fly me to Paris, fly me to Germany, fly me somewhere, we do a different test. These people will tell you, okay, from what you guys see, we are convinced that this guy cannot play football anymore. Then, for me, this was a second opinion. A second opinion is not like when the same paper you write YZ, you send it to China, they will read it YZ. That was my point. I make myself clear to my agents, Patrick Mock and Cherno. I said to them, yo, the doctor said the laws are flexible some places. For me, in my life, I just want to see the smallest opportunity. When we have a conversation, I'm looking for that small opportunity that okay, this can be possible. And when I heard that from the doctors, I was like, yes, I'm gonna use that. The laws are flexible somewhere. We're gonna use the flexible part that you just spoke about somewhere. So I spoke to my agent. I said, look, hey, I really don't care what No Shopping think about this situation. Of course, they made it clear. They said I needed to terminate and we have to cancel the contract, And I said to my agent, we have to move, find something. So Patrick Mock, which I'm really grateful about today, and he somehow, just do one or two calls, then the GM from the DC United said, yeah, respond to him with positive news. Say, yeah, we are interested. Like, the player can come to United States, do all the, what I was looking forward to, like a second opinion test, went to United States, do my second opinion, test, then bam, I was cleared to play. The people from the MLS, do you think they make that decision because my name is Alhaji Kamara? Hell no. These people don't know me. It's what the medical result says. It's what the test says. That I was okay to play football. And they gave me the green pass. And the reason why we go to MLS, because the laws in MLS does not, how do you say it, coordinate with the European football. So I was approved to play in the MLS because back then it was the only league that, with my situation, having like a lion heart, having born special, this is the only place they can accept me to play football again. So we went to the MLS and I signed a contract, And the worst thing was the things I was going through during this period, this 6-month period without playing football, I wasn't not shopping. It was like me being ignored. I come to the stadium, went to the VIP section. Nobody knows who is Alhaji Kamara again. All that Kamara was gone, An old man asked me, like, what are you doing here? Who are you? I was like, wait, you really don't know me? He said, no, I really don't know you. Just 6 months, being a champion in this club. Now nobody recognized, you as a person, So these are the things I was struggling, being mentally depressed, until I have the news that, I need to go do a second opinion, which I'm grateful today for Patrick Mock. I love this guy and I appreciate him. He was the one that, bring the scouts that, went to Sierra Leone, scouted me and bring me to Europe. So up till today, I really appreciate this man,